You need it.
Okay,
Hold on.
that's
Your
better.
show needs a name. Your show needs a name. Your show needs a name.
Okay.
Daniel Lovebottom on Love from the Top, maybe?
No, it doesn't have to be dirty. It's got to be. No, it's got to be. It's got to be.
May.
No, we'll call it. No, we'll call it Love on Top with Daniel Lovebottom.
There it is. There it is. Yes.
What is this?
All right, here we go.
All right, hold on.
All right,
hold
here you
on,
go. You
hold
ready?
on. Just wait for it.
Okay, here we go. Ready? So here's the music. This is where the intro music is going to be, like the,
It's
kinda
got some
70s,
bass.
like.
Yeah. Some
Hey
waka waka
everybody,
guitar.
how's it going? It's me, Daniel Lovebottom, and you are tuned in to Love on Top.
Hello and welcome to the 40th episode of the GameBrew podcast. I am your host, Ian Luigi Richard, and I'm joined by Chris Wario Wrights,
I'm a Wario.
Dan Mario Rotz,
It's a me, Mario!
and Allison Yoshi Vandevender.
Yoshi!
Today on the show, we'll admit to the most embarrassing cosmetic video game purchases we've made, and in the second half, we'll mourn the loss of the Telltale Games studio. But first, it's time for a beer. Chris, I am terrified by this.
Oh god.
So in honor of our 40th, I'm a little terrified too of this.
I'm excited.
So in honor of our 40th episode, we decided that it was a good time to drink 40s of malt liquor.
40s!
And these are near
Bring
and dear
it
to my
back!
heart. They used to be one of my drinks of choice in college just because of how cheap they are.
Can you dive a little bit further into that? Because that's not the whole story.
What you mean? So what I did to them?
Yeah.
With them? So one of my go-to moves was adding. Well, first it started as orange juice, so you drink it down to the label, and then add orange juice to fill it back up, and then you have this tasty mimosa-like drink that you can drink, and because of the orange juice, it keeps you healthy because vitamin C keeps you healthy.
It keeps you healthy
And so-
while also killing you.
True.
Oh no, it doesn't do that. It brings you
Brings
life.
you life.
And then another time I was doing this at a party and I didn't have orange juice, so I looked into the fridge and I found Tang. Well, I found an orange drink that I didn't know
my
what
God.
it was, and I put it in, and it was like a magical, life-changing experience.
A real life health pot.
Oh, I'm a little sick. I could just get some of Emergen-C and put that in this 40, and that would make me feel better?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, I highly recommend it. That's a great idea. You should definitely do that. Because let's be real, it's not going to get worse.
It's true.
So we're drinking an assortment of 40s
Yeah.
this week. I am consuming some kind of thing called Saint Ides. Has anyone had this before?
I have
It
not.
looks-
I don't know if they sell that on the East Coast.
If it looks like there's a picture of a hurricane on the front of it, so that's not heartening. And also, is it related to hurricanes somehow? I have no idea.
It could be. I mean, is it? I think hurricanes are made by Budweiser.
It also says it's.
They also have the best phrase, brace for the smooth taste.
Wow.
That's incredibly insensitive to so many people right now.
Especially in North Carolina.
Sorry, North Carolina. What does high gravity mean?
It means it's going to have a larger or a higher alcohol by volume.
Oh, great. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you.
Guys, I'm having an issue.
It's gonna be so fun.
My cap won't come off. I think I need.
What do you mean
I
it
think I
won't?
need hardware. Hold on.
It's a twist. It's a
I
twist
know
off.
it's not twisting. I think I need hardware. I'll be back in a second.
All right,
So
go get
you
your
know how I
hardware.
usually say that you should pour the beers into the glass?
Yeah.
Don't.
Wait,
Just
wait,
drink
wait,
it straight out of the bottle.
I have my GameBrew glass here ready. It's
You have
it's
to.
traditional to drink this out of the bottle.
Oh, very. It's
Oh, it's very
traditional to drink
traditional.
it from a paper bag.
I have a plastic one.
I got a Colt 45, which was brewed in Maryland. It used to be brewed in Maryland. It was named after number 45 on the Baltimore Colts in 1963, and not the 45 caliber handgun ammunition round.
This oh, that's nice. This smells like it smells like Natty Ice.
it's very close. That Natty Ice might be a malt beverage as well.
Interesting. What's the difference between a malt beverage and a beer? Like a malt liquor and a beer?
That's the stuff right there. So malt liquor tends to have high alcohol content and has a variety of different grains used in it. So it can have corn, sugar, sugar, and other things put into it to boost the total amount of fermentable sugars in the wort. So that creates more alcohol for it. So it has corn, rice, dextrose sometimes, very minimal hops.
Fuck. Okay, but I could just drink like a nice IPA or even a double IPA and get more equal alcohol by volume.
Oh, yeah.
But not for cheap.
But not for $3.
Right.
Right.
You're not drinking this for flavor. You're drinking this for function.
I'm honestly, I'm straight up worried about
Here we
this.
Go, you son of a bitch. All right.
I feel like this is like skydiving. Dan, don't you dare pour that into a glass.
I have to open it first.
No, we're drinking these out of the bottles.
Oh,
Okay.
there we
All right,
go.
here I go.
Good
I'm like,
God.
the inside of my mouth, Chris, is like coating itself. You know when you're like expecting to barf and the inside of your mouth gets like...
It's already doing that? Man, you're going to have a rough time.
It really is.
Near the end, it gets worse. It's so bad.
Oh, man. Okay, here we go.
It's better to drink it quickly.
That's why you get so drunk.
Pound it.
Okay.
So, Allison, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
No, you are. You
drinking
joining
Smirnoff
us?
Ice?
Oh, right.
Fuck yeah.
So it kind of tastes like I would expect lemonade pee
Ugh.
if lemonade could pee to taste. So
Yeah.
it's
At least
delicious.
it's lemonade pee and just not like slightly
yeah.
carbonated.
Slightly carbonated.
pee.
Honestly,
Kind of like
yeah,
what LaCroix
I feel
tastes
worse
like.
for you guys because I feel like
Yeah.
your guys' stuff tastes worse. So
It's not great.
It's really, this is not, I can definitely, what's interesting is you can definitely pull the alcohol flavor right out of it. Like it's not masked. There's nothing on top of it.
You don't drink this for flavor.
It kind of feels like, it would be like if someone just combined like water with liquor until it was the same alcohol by volume. And then like,
It's a little more flavorful. It tastes better.
Just a little bit.
maybe yours does.
I mean, I'm drinking Miller High Life. That's the champagne of beers, you guys.
That's the champagne of beers.
Oh, Mr. Fancy Man over
hey,
here.
just give me a top hat and call me Mr. Fancy Man. But
Well, and that makes sense if you put some orange juice with it because it's the champagne,
and that's
how
a
you get
mimosa. That's what you call it.
with the champagne of beers.
The more that I drink this, the more I understand the Tang champagne thing. In fact, I might go get some like Crystal Light and pour it in there. I don't know. It needs
Crystal
something.
Light. I was
We'll get
wondering where all those
creative later
men in
on.
spandex behind you, what we're doing back there.
Oh man, we should get on with the show. Though.
Should we? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't.
Oh, it's gonna go down so quick.
I think everybody really appreciates our comprehensive taste test of various 40s. All right.
The people.
Listen, they listen for that. That's why they're here.
Our podcast is the 40s of podcasts.
Let's be honest. You don't come here for class or for information. You don't. We know that. You know that. I know that. We all know
We're basically
that.
made for
We're
it.
just here to have a good time. That's right. I love it.
Oh, God.
All right. So what have we been playing this week? Fine people of the podcast.
I've been playing WoW next.
So, hey, do you guys remember in like one of the first like 4 episodes we talked about what we were excited for in like 2018 or something like that?
I do remember
we had an
that.
episode where we were just like, hey, what video games are you excited to come out next year?
Okay.
And in it, I had said, what I said was the South Park The Fractured Butthole. And
Yeah,
it's
how
good.
is it?
I started playing it finally. I got it on my Switch, and it's fun. They changed the battle system. For those of you who haven't played it, South Park the first one was called The Stick of Truth. They had a game that they came out with, and it was a very classic sort of RPG turn-based.
Like a Final Fantasy VI kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. This one is different. This is like it's a grid superhero battler because you play the superhero alter egos of all the South Park kids.
Like Fire Emblem
No,
or Tactics?
not like that. It's more like so it still has instanced battles, which means like you go around the
Okay.
world, which is South Park, and you like come across some sixth graders. So the sixth grader comes up to you.
And then it goes
Something like that. But basically, once that starts, then you're on just a 8x4 grid, and you have 3 different attacks that can either do like it goes 1 in front of you, it goes like three away from you, or it's like an area effect type thing, and then you take turns, and then it has like it's one of your characters, then like an enemy character, then your character, enemy, and then your turn, depending on how fast the round goes. But you have to think about it sometimes. It's still pretty easy, and they don't make it to be super difficult. You can change that difficulty level too, but it's pretty straightforward. But mostly it's just funny as hell. Like, that's one of the things I like most about it.
Dan, how much did you pay for it?
I paid $24.99 for it, I believe.
Was that on sale or was
I
that?
don't remember. Maybe is the answer.
Worth it so far?
So far, yeah. I mean, it's also because it's on my Switch. It's not like I have to keep playing it, and I can just kind of turn it off and then come back and know exactly where I was. So It's like I don't have to find crazy save points. I don't have to do anything. It's good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I've also been playing, since I wasn't here last time. Sorry about that. I've also been playing. You guys talked a little bit about Magic, right? You're playing Magic, the card game?
Yeah.
I downloaded Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links when I moved into my new apartment because I needed something to
Nice.
do while I was still setting stuff up. So I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
How was it?
It's good. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links every once in a while whenever I'm just kind of bored out in public and I know no one's looking over my shoulder.
Is that on the phone?
It's on my phone. It's just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I like Yu-Gi-Oh!
I
cards.
haven't thought about Yu-Gi-Oh since I was like 10.
It's great.
Did you ever play the Game Boy Advance ones?
No, I did not.
I played
Those
that,
I
yeah.
loved those. Like, and I wasn't really in. Like, I watched the show when I was younger, and I never had any like physical cards because I didn't have the money to spend on another card game since I already played Magic. But like, I liked having the card game that I could just bring wherever with me. It was just a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, you can do your Joey Wheeler impression.
Joey Wheeler.
Joey Wheeler. He's the one he's Baby Dragon. That's how he's
Baby
going.
Red Eyes
Wait, you
Dragon.
what are you saying? That my cards has got to believe in themselves?
Believe in the heart?
Because I believe in the hat of the cats.
What is this guy's name?
Joey Wheeler.
Joey Wheeler.
Wheeler.
He sounds
Wheeler.
like he's cousins with Johnny Two Hammers.
He might be.
I don't know. I'll ask Johnny next time he's
Do you
around.
think Johnny Two Hammers plays Yu-Gi-Oh?
He probably.
I don't know.
He probably,
He
he probably
might be a
doesn't
closet
tell.
nerd.
He tells nobody about it, but he
Hold
definitely
on.
plays.
Let me ask the MFC. Hey, do you know if Johnny plays? Yu-Gi-Oh cards? No, I don't think that he does. Yeah, no. He doesn't play. Also, the MFC is here. BT Dubs. He's been staying with me for the last week or so.
Oh,
Is it
new
because you were
roommate.
lonely after you moved?
Yeah, a little bit. He was just kind of hanging out.
Got it. Allison, what about you?
So I haven't had a ton of time to play. I've been playing a little WoW, obviously, because it now owns all of our soul. And A Way Out. My friend got
Oh,
that
right on.
game. And you can actually play it. You don't have to buy it to play it as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
So he bought it, and we linked up and played probably about half the game at this point.
Who are you playing as?
So Andrew's playing the guy with the facial hair, and I'm playing Mutton Chops.
Mutton Chops, the skinny dude, facial hair guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm playing like the sarcastic one. I can't remember their names. I'm terrible.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while since I played it too, but
Yeah.
it has a nice.
but
It
I'm
has a little
playing
twist
the
at the end.
sarcastic one. I'll find out, I guess. So
Don't
I'm
ruin
halfway
it, Chris.
there.
I didn't. I just said it had a twist.
Spoiler alert for this.
Spoilers,
but,
it has a twist.
Turns out they're dead the whole time.
Oh, man.
Haley Joel Osment comes in. It's weird.
Yeah, that game was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
But I mean, right now, it kind of feels this game could have been better. That's all I keep thinking the whole time. Like, I like little chunks of it, and I like the things they're doing, but I feel like this was just like their first try, and the next one will be so much better.
Yeah, and it was a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea. I like what they're doing with it. It's wonky. I feel like the panic button smashing things could have been done where I actually feel panicked instead of, oh, let me hit X and that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have some things to improve on, but overall really fun.
Yeah, I hope they make another game because I know that Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was also kind of a cool idea and cool execution. So keep it coming, Hazelight.
Do it.
I've been kicking it old school on my Switch and playing some Super Mario 3.
Whoa.
Oh, I mean, I was going to say, can you really kick it old school on a Switch? But yes, you can.
You can.
Nice.
And it's super fun. What?
Is that one of the games that came with the Nintendo started doing a thing for Switch where you have to pay for internet access on it, correct?
Yeah, you pay for, it's like Xbox Live
But
payment.
it's like $20 for the whole year. So
Yeah,
it's
$20 for the whole year, and it gives you options where you can pay monthly. It's like $3 monthly if you want to do that instead.
No, just do the $20 a year.
I know, but it's nice of them to give you options.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I've been playing some of that, and that game is really good. And it reminds me. I hate to say this, but it really does remind me of Dark Souls in a lot of ways, where they'll introduce a new mechanic. And then immediately assume that you have processed that new mechanic exists and that you know how to utilize it. There's no wait time. And that's something that keeps the game really interesting. So Mario 3 is just so good. Not a whole lot of games from that era live up to their hype, their old school hype. But so far, this game is freaking great.
What Super Mario 3, is that the one with the overworld map that you have to go to?
Yeah, there's an overworld map, and it's the one with the raccoon tail is the new power up that you get all the time. There's a frog suit.
Dan, I think you're thinking of Super Mario World.
Oh no, this is Super Mario Bros. 3. No, this is the one that was in the Wizard.
The what?
The Wizard?
What is the Wizard?
Have you never seen the movie The Wizard?
It's a movie.
No.
Oh my God. I don't care if we're going overtime. You need to look up this movie. It is great. It is great in retrospect.
They meet to compete in the ultimate. Yes, it looks like this is the one in The Wizard because I can see the final game scene clip has a shot of Mario 3. Yes, it's that game.
Yes.
It's the second true Mario game because Mario 2 was a different thing that they just slapped Mario sprites into.
Okay.
Anyway.
You need to watch The Wizard. It is required of you now, both of you.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire's in it uncredited as Goon.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
That Goon, Tobey Maguire.
And there was something else that I wanted to talk about that I've been playing. Oh, the new Destiny 2 expansion.
Yeah. Oh, how is it?
You know what? It's really good. I'm still in the honeymoon phase. In fact, I haven't even finished the thing yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm only 2 or 3 hours in. But I gotta say, I'm not the person to ask objective questions about Destiny because I have just liked
Space
all
magic.
of the Destiny things. Space magic,
Fucking space magic.
Shooting guns and blowing up aliens is just kind of my thing. I love it.
Loves blowing aliens.
I feel personally and overall with Destiny, it's a honeymoon game. Everybody likes it for a little bit and then they get bored.
And I'm kind of fine with that. Mm-hmm. The only thing, I'm fine with a game that comes and goes and, sees themselves out in the morning. The thing.
I was about to say it's kind of like your outside cat, but now I don't want to make that reference.
The only thing I would say about that with Destiny is that it is expensive to keep up with it. The new expansion is $40, and you have to buy the base game under that. And I don't even know. Like, I think if you buy the base game right now and then you want to get to Forsaken, you might have to buy the other 2 expansions first. Like, is painful.
That sounds crazy. Well, just wait. Eventually, they'll release a $60 version that comes with everything you already paid for.
Yeah.
So,
but it is really fun, and I like that they're adding new modes, and they revamped the loot system so that you'll actually want to keep going after loot. Some really super smart changes, and the bows. There's bows in this game now, and they're freaking great. They're so much fun.
Like headphones?
No, like arrows.
Oh, like bows. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
The fronts of ships.
No, that's
that would be
bows.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, it's
bows.
Yeah.
Bows. Yeah. Speaking of ships.
Mm-hmm.
No, hold on. Let me think of a segue here.
Can you try better?
No. Here comes the segue.
You can hear it. It's going.
All right, I got nothing. So we have all made bad choices in life, many of them financial. And in our case, I think many of these bad financial blunders have involved cosmetic items in video games. Am I right, friends? Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah. And today,
you didn't even wait for us to answer, you son of a bitch.
Today we'll be airing out our most embarrassing cosmetic purchases in games and why we're willing to slap down cold hard cash for things that don't exist. So I want to go to Allison first and ask the question, like, what's your biggest one, Allison, and why did you do it, more importantly?
So here's the thing. I don't know if I'm the best to even talk about this because I genuinely don't buy things in games a lot.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I and everything I buy is super intentional. But I guess the thing that I feel like I've put the most money into but don't really have anything to show for it is Pokemon Go.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yeah. And the boxes you can get, because you can get like the bonus boxes, and during certain time periods, they're better than others. During events like the Celebi event, they'll have some extra stuff in it, and I always trap myself into buying it. But I also like do this thing where I have Google Play points, and so I don't actually pay for the full amount. But you get like premium raid passes, super incubators, star pieces, incense, lucky eggs, and stuff, other things in there too. But they're like $5 easy or more, and I drop that money on them too often, to be honest. So that's probably my biggest regret.
Like, why is it that Pokemon Go is the game that makes you do this? I guess is the bigger question, because I have my own sins to atone for. But why Pokemon Go? I never felt the need to spend money on Pokemon Go.
That's the thing. I don't like pay to win games. They piss me off, actually. I will stop playing a game as soon as I find out it's pay to win. So the cosmetic things I buy are usually just like, they look nice. And I never regret that. I love my character to look good, or like ride a piggy in a video game. That's important to me, so I'll buy that pig if that's something I need to do.
I will buy that pig.
I will buy that pig.
Yeah, which is what I did in a game that I'd love to tell you the name of right now, but it's escaping me. But yeah, so it's stuff like that I'll do. But in Pokemon Go, it really is pay to win in a lot of ways, and I still play it. If you don't have the incubators are the biggest thing in raid passes, you really can't participate in heavy raid days like the special event Moltres days, where you have a better chance of getting a shiny Moltres. You can only do 1 or 2 raids that day if you don't buy the passes.
But that's like the epitome of
pay to win.
Not even pay to win. I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about, you only have this chance of getting a shiny Moltres. That's just a Moltres that's a different color. Like, that's not, you don't win anything. It's Pokemon Go. There's nothing to win.
Yes. But people want those shiny Moltresses, so you have power in trade.
Yeah, but that's still like you're.
That's what Pokemon's about.
No,
trading.
but you're still talking about this. It still seems silly to me. And whenever that seems silly to me, that's something you don't really need.
Allison, what's the most expensive thing you've ever paid for in WoW? That was like purely
$25 mount.
Ooh.
But I love that.
What
What
was
mount is
it?
that?
Yeah.
The little Star Horse Celestial something.
Oh, the
steed,
Celestial
I think is what
Star
it's called.
Horse thing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous and worth it.
Is
it
it like a
really
My Little
worth-
Pony looking thing? Or?
I gotta look it
See,
up right now.
But that's the thing.
That's
To
almost
me,
two.
That's so worth it.
That's almost 2 months worth of time.
And it was worth it to me. Well, the big thing is, so like with WoW especially, a lot of them I did not buy myself. Carrie and I especially, we gift each other for holidays in pets.
Oh, that is the sweetest thing that I've
That's
ever
so
heard.
cute. It's adorable.
We're precious. But like that's something we do in League of Legends. I've bought like a skin, and I think it was like $10, one of the Star Guardian skins.
Sensing a theme.
Yeah, one of the packs for Rakan, because I play him a lot. I bought that when it came out. But most of the time, me and my best friend Fee in that game. So me and my best friend Carrie gift each other in WoW. Me and my best friend Fee would get mystery boxes and gift each other, or gift each other skins during holidays that we knew we liked for certain champions.
League.
For League. So although I pay money to gift my friends in those games, I rarely actually buy myself anything.
So I'm kind of with Allison in that I'm not really a big purchaser of cosmetic things.
I don't know. It
but
sounds like Allison's a big purchaser of cosmetic things.
It does.
To
Like
me.
for someone that says that she's not.
She's not. It's like you spend $25 on a horse, girl.
Yeah.
A thing. One thing.
It's
Have you seen
I
Captain
$25.
Crackers?
myself. I know,
In
I
WoW.
do kind of want crackers. He's
He's
so
10
cute.
bucks.
It's a little parrot pet that
Carrie
sits on
got
your
him.
shoulder.
Yeah.
We should have had Carrie on this
he
episode.
is cool. We should.
Oh my god, Carrie
Carrie,
would have
where
been
are you?
amazing here. We missed an opportunity.
No, because I remember I was talking to her. I asked her this question about like what does she regret the most, and she went. So you know the X-52 rocket? It was like the first mount that you could have that
I
had two
remember.
seats. She made a second WoW account just so she could get that. That's
So
I
that
remember
means-
her doing
that
that.
means that they bought the game over again.
No, yeah, I guess so.
Yes, it does.
I had
she
two
bought the
and-
battle chest.
And had two.
She bought
because it
the
was cheaper.
battle chest.
had-
It was
Oh my
cheaper
God.
at the time.
and had
yeah.
two accounts going at the same time.
That's like right now people are buying that. They're like signing up for 6 months because you can get that ship or something
Dread
like
Wake.
that.
Pirate ship.
Yeah, the Dreadwake. Which
Yeah, but it's like at that time, it was kind of a game changer because it was the first two-person
It was.
mount.
It was.
And that was big, and she was like helping me out all the time. So, and I get lost walking in a straight line.
Right. So what you're saying is this was a financially responsible purchase.
Yeah, but
Only
it's the way
one-
she got it.
The only one she regretted was the Zebra steed, which is kind of very meh.
yeah, it's
I agree.
All right. Well, Dan, what about you, man? Are you a big cosmetics man?
Well, you know what? Not really. Mostly because I'm cheap. But the only things I ever spent money on was whenever I was playing Call of Duty, Black Ops, you could buy like extra skins for your guns and stuff like that. They had like packs that you could get where it was like, oh, check out these psychedelic packs you could buy. And it was like, oh, those look pretty cool.
Oh, those are psychedelic.
Oh, those
bruh.
are pretty psychedelic. Of course, I was like 17, so I was like, yeah, I want that set. I want it. I bought those. It's hard for me to say, like, I want to spend, like, money on these things just because it doesn't help me in the game, you know?
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Chris, what about you, man?
So I don't regret this skin at all.
He doesn't regret it.
I'm pretty proud of it actually because I don't think there's a more me skin out there. I'm gonna share it with everyone before I say what it is.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
It's from League of Legends, a game that I do not play anymore. But I needed this skin. I absolutely
I
needed
agree.
this skin.
You did need it.
All right, I'm
It's
going to
the
describe it. Yeah.
So
oh, no,
it's-
you got it. You got it.
It's a character named Gragas,
Gragas.
and he's a character who throws a barrel to stun people, and he just carries a barrel of beer around him all the time.
And he heals himself with that.
He does by drinking it. They came
Makes
out with a
sense.
skin for him that's Oktoberfest Gragas, and so he's just wearing lederhosen. And I needed it. And I think I don't know if at the time you had to pay for extra skins, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Allison, or if you could just use in-game currency. But
Nope.
So there are certain times, and there's some game companies are really good at it. So
Blizzard is really good at it.
Blizzard's done it to me with their, like, when I was starting Heroes of the Storm, I bought a bunch of characters. Really don't play that game anymore, but bought a bunch of characters because they were cheap. Gwent got me pretty hard. I bought about 50 barrels there. Mm-hmm. So barrels are card packs. Bought about 50 of those suckers because they were real cheap.
Stone did that to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I think Ian knows all about
what?
Those card
games. How do you feel about card games?
I don't even play card games, guys. Oh my god, CCGs are my week. Theoretically.
So would you rather get them for a digital game or for a physical game?
I'd rather get them for a digital game only because that's how I play my card games.
But you can't hold them.
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Usually like the cost benefit analysis for me is more about will I use this thing than it is about whether it has any kind of like physical manifestation or not. Okay. So if I think I'm going to get into a CCG, I will spend some money on that. And basically all the CCGs, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get into this. So I was looking at my Hearthstone stuff the other day, and I remember that there was a time in like 2016, 2015 where I would drop like $50 a month on Hearthstone because Hearthstone
on a free game.
I had a free game.
That's amazing. You spent more on a free game than you probably have on Diablo 3.
For sure. Way more.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the thing about Hearthstone, and it's the only free to play game that's really hooked me that way, and it's the only one also that I kind of feel a little bit bad about. It's something that really grabbed me, and I wanted to. All I wanted to do was play Priest, and that was another thing. I basically never played any class in Hearthstone but Priest, and to be at all good with Priest, you have to have a certain set of cards. And so I was just like, well, I guess we're doing this.
That's crazy to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Why Priest though?
Because Priest is my class in most games.
I just don't understand why.
WoW and Hearthstone. Why? Why is Priest my class?
I think it's because he's bald. It just makes it it makes more sense from a monkish sort of denomination.
I liked priests before I was bald.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, I don't know. It's just my thing. It's just it's a class that I want to play. I like playing support classes in group RPGs. I think it's more interesting than doing anything else.
And everybody thanks you for that. We do.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
Because otherwise,
thanks for tanking.
I would just DPS and die immediately.
And if we think about the other thing about Hearthstone is if you think about how people say money is time because time is money.
Time is money, friend.
Yeah, exactly. I also have a gold priest portrait in Hearthstone, which means that you've played 500 games on the competitive rankings. As that class. And I also spent a large portion of my time not playing in competitive. I probably put at least 200 hours into Hearthstone too. I just I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
So, and I think I've talked about this before, but I've spent probably more time than money on cosmetic things. I've spent a lot of time going after, and I've helped friends going after cosmetic items in WoW more than I've spent money on them. If your time is money is what we're going at right now.
I think I would be more apt. I'm more apt for physical things. So board games, card games in real life. If you show me that you have, which one of my friends has, all 5 pieces of Exodia in a foil card from Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm like, hell yeah! How much you spent on that? $100? Totally worth it. But if it's on a digital form, I'm like, meh. It's a thing. It's fine.
I mean, that's true too because I spent some decent money on my mat for Magic the Gathering and my die for Magic the Gathering and D&D and things
God.
like that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You guys, I forgot. I play Dungeons and Dragons. I've probably spent upwards of $300.
Right. Those are games.
Yeah,
and
but
that's cosmetic.
you really don't need
sorry,
it.
Dan.
I'm sorry. I have to
come
rescind.
at me about this?
I'm so sorry. I have to rescind all of the things that I said. I have spent so much money on Dungeons and Dragons things, dice, mats. I've spent it on little figurines. For my birthday, my dungeon crew got me like some big figurines, and I started to tear up a little bit. That's how much I love these things. I'm so sorry.
My $25 mount doesn't.
It doesn't.
Seem
No,
so
it doesn't
silly,
mean anything. I'm a giant nerd. Yes,
there we
Chris.
go.
I've spent over $100 to get a Pit Boy when the Fallout 4 came out.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes. This is so Chris bought the regular edition of Fallout and then a super special edition and then another edition?
No, so I bought this version, which I'm holding up. It's the Fallout Pit Boy edition. It comes with a Pit Boy.
Forgetting it's an audio medium, yes.
Yes.
I know. I'm not forgetting. I'm showing you.
It's got this great sort of like metallic rust-looking case.
I don't know why it has that penis drawn on it though.
Oh, I'm trying to open it and having trouble.
It's a very secure vault.
It is. Oh, it's not in there. Oh, because it's up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's on your shelf. Yeah,
it's on my shelf, so you can wear it. It's cool. It's totally cool. It was definitely worth $100. So I bought it, but it wasn't going to be there the day that Fallout 4 started. So I had to go buy another copy.
I feel like we've heard this story before.
We have.
Well, and Chris, but you also have a shelf behind you of all of these wonderful cosmetic like figurines and like special edition things.
I do. Yeah, there they are.
How much do you think you spent on all that?
And the Legos too?
Well, no, Legos don't count because Legos are awesome no matter what.
That's a different thing.
You need Legos. Are you kidding me?
There's probably a couple $100 worth of stuff up there.
What's your favorite thing?
Easy.
Describe to us your favorite
My
thing.
favorite thing is... So, before there was the Geralt Pop.
Little pop figurine.
My girlfriend got me this custom-made one from a dude on Etsy. So this is with a custom-made box.
What?
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I haven't opened it, but it's
No,
don't
never.
Our
open
listeners
that.
can't see, but it's
Dude,
it's
that's
kinda cool.
awesome.
Take a picture of it and we'll post it on the Instagram.
I will.
Yeah, that's really great. So I think that counts to me too.
Yeah, it kind of like now that we've talked about that, yeah, that kind of does count. I have a lot of that kind of stuff.
You're wearing a Super Sunbros shirt.
I am.
I bought a second Xbox 360 because there was an R2D2 edition.
Oh yeah.
What?
And yeah, there was zero need. I had a perfectly fine Xbox 360 and they came out with the R2D2 edition and I was literally at work at Best Buy and I stood there and it came in and I was like, I'm going to buy this today. And they were like, really? And I'm like, uh-huh. And I just like left, got my card, went up and purchased it before like it's second it dropped on the floor. I took it up and I bought it. And I still love it, but I had zero need for that.
Do you still have it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you boop it, so my dog, she likes to hit the button on my Xbox 360 and my Xbox One with her nose to turn it on and off. And her favorite is to do the 360, and I still have it plugged in and still use it because I'm crazy. And so she walks over to it and she boops it and it goes, and she's just really excited every time. So I'll take a picture and I'll show you. It's pretty wonderful.
Really great.
Yeah, pay attention to the GameBrew Instagram to see all the pictures of all this
also
shit we've spent money
appreciate-
on.
Yeah, that you guys buried the lead and then we're like, every single one of you was like, no, I don't really spend money on cosmetic items.
I was thinking
spent the-
in-game content.
Yeah,
man.
I was
I
thinking
think we
in-game
spent so much
content.
of the first half of this conversation being like, I don't know about this, you guys, but
And then
Yeah.
we just bought a bunch of
shit.
And then we had this realization that we're all right there.
My second favorite thing are these guys. I bought these at MagFest. They're
What
derpy
are
little
those?
Pokemon.
Oh
That's
my
a
God.
Mudkip.
It's a mudkip.
That's awesome.
It's a derpy Mudkip. Here's a derpy
I love
Charmander.
that.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
Those are really
God,
great.
there's gonna be
Okay.
so many
Yeah,
pictures.
those have to go up on the Instagram too. Okay. I think that's going to be it for the first half of the show. When we come back, we will discuss the end of Telltale Games. May it rest in peace. Stick with us. Hi, everybody. It's Ian. I just wanted to touch base and say thank you for listening to the podcast. You all that support the show, you really make it possible and you really make it worth doing for us. So just wanted to say thank you. If you wanted to support us in another way, you can always go over to Humble Bundle at bit.ly/GameBrew and sign up for our Humble Bundle thing. It helps to support the GameBrew, but also you get some cool games every month. And on top of that, Humble gives a portion of its profits to charity, which is a really cool thing. And you can also support us by sharing the podcast on all the things. So your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, you can find us at the GameBrew, share us with your friends, let them know how cool we are. And then also sometimes, we have trouble coming up with ideas. So if you have some, get in touch with us. Carrier pigeon would even work. Or if you just shot yourself out of a cannon to wherever we are, then we could just talk in person. Also, a very doable kind of communication. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much again for listening, and here's the second half of the show. Welcome back to the second half of the GameBrew podcast, episode 40. Let's check in with our 40s. Dan, how you doing over there? Are you living the high life?
I am living that high life, dude. It is. I'm getting college flashbacks, is what's happening. I'm sitting in hotel rooms in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with Chris.
Oh man,
drinking 40s.
dude, remember that there was that chicken place that sold 40s.
Oh my god, it was so good. I do remember
they
that.
They sold 40 koozies. I bought 2 of them.
Oh god,
Allison,
so
are you feeling chill with your Smirnoff Ice?
oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cringy, and I like
just
it.
make a stupid pun? It sounds like you made a pun.
No, he didn't. I got you this time, but I'm not saving you again.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
Stupid puns are my favorite. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's going fine.
Chris, have you finished your 40 yet?
So apparently, advertising. There was a long-time advertising association with actor Billy D. Williams for Colt 45.
Who is Billy D. Williams?
Are you
Shut up.
serious?
Shut up. You don't know who Billy D.
Lando
Williams is.
Calrissian.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Apollo Creed.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know he was in Rocky.
Apparently, the slogan he used every time on his commercials was "It works every time." And to answer your question, yes, I have finished my 40.
Did it work?
Every
It
time?
worked.
It
It works every time.
Bitch, did
what is it doing? Is the question. It's working how?
Oh, look at how
gets you
happy
drunk?
he is.
Is that it?
It's like $3 happiness. It's great.
Oh my god, it's so cheap.
I'm Billy D. Williams for
ridiculous.
Cold 45. it gets you drunk.
Yeah, it's like they knew. They were like, the tagline can't be "it's good." The tagline can't be enjoyable, but it works, guys. It fucking works. So let's go with
Every
that.
time.
Every time.
I'm just getting reminded about why I drank it so much in college. Because it was $3, or it was actually cheaper then. It was like like less than $2.50 for a bottle.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Which you were getting hammered for $5.
I would say hammered. Probably
For
like
two of
good
them.
and
For two of them.
For two of them? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I would drink
hammered.
2
Oh god.
for $5.
Would you duct tape them to your hands also and make
No, I
people
did
have to
not.
help you
I
pee
never did
and
that.
stuff?
I don't want to because I'm an adult now.
Okay.
So yes, in summary, my Colt 45 was fantastic.
Ian, it looks like you're nursing yours a little bit.
No, I don't know what you're talking about,
Lift
Dan.
up. I want to see your bottle, please.
It's empty. It's
Oh,
totally
yeah.
empty.
Keep going up.
No. Come on.
That's it.
Oh, come on, dude.
Ian,
And mine's like, I've only got like an inch left.
I can't do it. Speaking of Chris's current inebriation, I have some sobering news.
I am quite sober. You're correct.
So the gaming world was rocked this week with news of the closure of Telltale Games Studios, who of course made wonderful games like The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands, and many more titles. And so we just wanted to take a second to talk about Telltale Games and what we liked about it and what we think led to their closure and kind of how that closure happened. So the first thing is that, Allison, you have a statement that Telltale released upon their closure that you want to read. Is that right?
Yeah, so this came out on the 21st, and it was their immediate release kind of what happened. So all it really said was, today Telltale Games made the difficult decision to begin a majority studio closure following a year marked by insurmountable challenges. A majority of the company's employees were dismissed earlier this morning, with a small group of 25 employees staying on full to fulfill the company's obligations to its board and partners. CEO Pete Howley issued the following statement. It's been an incredibly difficult year for Telltale as we work to set the company on a new course. Unfortunately, we ran out of time trying to get there. We released some of our best content this year and received a tremendous amount of positive feedback, but ultimately that did not translate to sales. With a heavy heart, we watch our friends leave today to spread our brand of storytelling across the games industry. Telltale will issue further comments regarding its product portfolio in the coming weeks.
Can I just say, like, I really hate whenever companies issue statements like this, because it's so like riddled with this language that's
Boilerplate.
Like, yeah, it's just like all this like, oh, we're so sad to have to, like, it's like, no, you're not. And it's like, and we're gonna have, and these commitments that they have to releasing stuff, I'm like, that's not what I care about when that happens.
What are they gonna say? Like, what do you want them to say?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And no, but you're right. There's not really anything to say. I mean, what I would like them to say is like, well, sorry, we fucked up. That's our fault. And we're going to support our employees.
I think that's the biggest problem I have with the whole thing, is how they treated their employees in this. 'Cause they were actually hiring people 2 weeks ago. And I mean people, they were
hiring people 2 weeks?
Hiring people 2 weeks before this was issued. And people who were traveling to moving to get this job kind of thing. Nobody knew that this was going to happen other than clearly the board or whoever made the ultimate call. And the workers were literally put out on the street that day. When we knew, they knew. Like, it was the exact same timing. And they just lost their job. No severance package, no anything.
Well, no, and they're only getting paid through the end of this month. Which is interesting because that's actually illegal in California and in the United States. You actually have to give, if a company is going under, there's a law that says you have to give 60 days notice if you're going to lay off the majority of your employees, which means that if they're found liable for that they'll have to pay everyone at Telltale Games who was working there 60 days worth of pay following the closure.
All right, so have you guys heard, Internet Archive? It has this nifty thing where you can look up like screenshots, like versions of pages a couple days like previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I just it's called the Wayback Machine. And I just used it. I looked up on September 21st. They had 7 jobs open.
Wow.
Like you could apply to 7 job positions at
that's
including a 6-month contract as a cinematic artist.
So that means
that's the weirdest thing.
Means that there was like probably 1 or 2 people at the top who were just like, we got to fucking close this thing. And everyone else was just like business as usual. It's like, yeah, we got to get some more people in. We got to try and get this the next Walking Dead season like ended, which still hasn't done. And
well, so this is the thing, like, and there are two sides to this. So right now we're talking about like the IRL side of what the company was doing, but I also at some point, not right now in the conversation, want to pivot and talk about what was going on digitally. But the other thing about Telltale Games is I don't know if you anyone had a chance to read about this, but they also part of the lawsuit that the workers have filed is not just that you didn't give us enough time closing the company, but also that while we were there were workers' rights abuses. There were like crunch time culture was really real and incredibly pervasive, and that's the reason why some really important people left.
That's at almost every studio, though.
But it's not right. I don't care if it's almost
right,
in every
but that's
studio.
just, I think, the culture in video game studios in general.
I think for sure there's a couple things there. So one of the things is some of the employees stated that they were working overtime and not paid for them.
That's not okay.
That's not cool.
Right. And that's something that the way that it was worded by some of the employees who were coming forward with it is they cared about the content so much and their art that they were doing it. But when the company treated them this way after they put so much into it and didn't even complain about the fact that they didn't have overtime, that they were really like, they're like, don't ever do this. Like, I made this mistake. I didn't report it. And now this is where I am. Don't put anything into a company that doesn't value you kind of thing.
Do you know if those employees were hourly or salary?
I'm assuming hourly, the way that it was worded, but I guess I don't know for sure. The other thing was the CEO and co-founder, Kevin Broner, was removed from his position earlier this year. And he was theoretically part of that culture where the crunch time was really bad. They felt forced to work past what they were supposed to, and they had like unreasonable deadlines under him, in theory. And he was actually removed, and then he sued Telltale, and that is still pending because that was like July that it was pushed. That lawsuit's continuing.
Maybe it's like maybe you think they're settling or something like that, and that's why they had to close the company down or something. Maybe they had to pay off like whatever.
Part of me feels that way, and like the crappy thing is this guy, and like we don't know exactly what's going on in the behind the scenes, right? There's a lot of drama here, clearly at the top down that wasn't coming to the employees at all, but. He commented on the studio's fate, and like I don't remember his exact wording, but essentially he was like, I never wanted anything more than for us to succeed, and I was trying to get there, and they ejected me essentially, and I'm sorry this happened, but this isn't what I wanted. But how much of your lawsuit really caused this? You know what I mean? So it's kind of,
I don't know. I feel like,
who knows?
Well, I mean, okay, there's something about having an exiting leadership that's like suing the company that's incredibly difficult. But on the other hand, I have absolutely no sympathy in my heart for any company that abuses its workers or doesn't pay people for the work they've done. Like and this is one of the things that bugs me about video games. Like, it's an industry that's almost at this point as profitable as the film industry is. And I have a ton of friends who make really great money in LA working in the film industry, and they don't work all the time. They either work really heavy for 6 months and they take the next 6 months off, or there's some kind of work-life balance in the work that they're doing for the studios, which is not to say it's perfect everywhere, but they at least feel like it's fair. And everything you hear about video game production culture is that it's toxic and it's incredibly demanding, and that the people who are most dedicated to it are the ones who end up suffering the most under the systems, which is, it's wrong. I'd rather have fewer video games, to be honest.
Well, and that's another thing is that you don't know what's going on here. I mean, clearly it was the people up here who caused the collapse. It's not the developers. It's not the people who are suffering the most from it. and the many people who are suffering, which is why companies like Blizzard, Naughty Dog, Ubisoft, all these big name companies reached out to everyone who was terminated and is offering them jobs, which I think is pretty cool. But it's also it's difficult when you know that it's the higher up people and you don't know where the faults lie, because it doesn't have anything to do with the people who physically create the games, and they're the ones who are abused like crazy, which is why you're seeing so many indie developers who try to like control their own game content from top to bottom, because the bigger names tend to be super toxic.
So the other question about this topic is not just what happened in terms of IRL, the studio, but what happened in terms of the content that Telltale was releasing that caused a lack in sales to the point where they felt like they had to close. I mean, we talked about this, I feel like, a little bit on our last, when we were doing a Telltale Games episode, not a couple episodes ago, you know? And we sort of touched on the fact that we thought that their formula was good, but it was a pretty tight script.
Because whenever Telltale came out with these games, they were kind of the first person to do this adventure game sort of formula. And then once other people started to do this, Life is Strange. It's kind of like Life is Strange came in and did that really interestingly. And a lot of people were like, oh, this is really good. It's almost a shame that Telltale couldn't do that. But they also never changed anything about the formula they were doing.
Well, yeah, and that's what I think. If Telltale had kept the sort of incredible... It wasn't just that you can make choices. I mean, people had done that before. If you look at Mass Effect or things of that nature, like RPGs where you kind of sort of had a choice structure. But the other thing that Telltale did really well is they had some really great writing that was just, it didn't matter what kind of media you were looking at, like novels or movies or whatever. It was great writing. But what they didn't do is they never took that foundation of being able to make choices and having great writing and add anything else on top of that. There were so many things that were kind of janky in Telltale Games. Like anytime you wanted to interact with the characters or pick something up or the camera changed, everything was always just a little bit funky. And the art style was always the exact same. Like there were so many things that they could have changed about their games to make them fresh and new and to keep up with the times. They could have put more gameplay in there. They could have changed the art style, but they didn't. They just kept churning out same, admittedly pretty good things.
I think that hits the nail on the head. There were other game companies that were delivering the same choices and the same weighty decisions and the same storytelling, but with actual gameplay. And for me, I would 100% rather play those games than playing a Telltale game where I feel like I'm clicking through a novel.
Well, I think that's it too. It's like it wasn't a novel, a visual novel, and it wasn't a game, so it existed in this weird kind of middle place that felt awkward a lot of the time. And the decisions didn't change the effect of outcomes enough, really, either, which was something people complained about a lot with these games. When you have games on the market that change things a ton, and you're looking at Telltale Games where it affects it minorly in the end, like maybe you have 5 endings total, but ultimately the rest of the story, there's nothing that's changed except maybe some of the characters' interactions.
There's like,
because you were shitty
like the
to
major
them.
Plot points were still the same no matter what way you played it, but like
it still went here.
Little things on the sides would change.
And this is an area where like we're just regular people, and if we're sitting here thinking like they should have done this thing where they could have made this incredibly branching story and do like a shorter story with like 30 different endings, you know what I mean, and really give players the chance to individualize. That's just something that takes time and investment to build up, to design, to make sure that all of those different endings have different sets of characters, different sets of environments, different sets of things.
Well, and the fact that they all work.
And make all of that work, exactly. But you can't do that if you're already abusing your workforce to churn out stuff that's the same as it was before. Mm-hmm. So that abuse of the...
I mean, I think it's like completely separate from the fact that they were apparently abusing their workforce, is the fact that their game design did not evolve over a decade.
Yeah,
I guess what I'm saying is I'm sorry, Dan. I guess what I'm saying is that I think it's connected.
It could be related.
Okay. Well, it could be, because those are, and it really depends on, I think a lot of that depends on the leadership, and the leadership in that company did change hands to a different developer aside from the creator. Maybe who knows if what was his name, Allison?
Kevin was the guy who was ejected out.
Okay. So when he was in charge, maybe he might have kept it moving in a different direction. Who knows? But you can't. Yeah,
that was the ultimate argument that Kevin is now bringing up. He's saying they removed me from the company when I was trying to change the pace so we could evolve and make something better. Is basically what he's too long didn't reading.
Okay.
And then the
TLDR.
The company's claiming he was removed because he was abusing the employees. So there's
that's tough.
And the whole case is locked. There's nothing that's allowed to be public from the case at this point, I guess, until a decision is made. So nobody knows if what was happening, I guess, in that case was actually going to expose it one way or the other. So the company dissolved to avoid this huge public backlash. Is that really what's happening? I don't know. It's very shady. Like, the whole situation is shady. It's weird to think that the company honestly didn't realize how in the red they were, that they had to just dissolve immediately.
That's bullshit. Somebody knew. It's bullshit. Somebody knew.
Exactly. Either somebody knew or there's something bigger going on and the company knew they could not survive whatever this case is going to leak, I guess. It's kind of interesting, and it's just so horrible that this is the way it ended when, you know, they had their Walking Dead thing. They had they're finishing they've decided to their thing that will appease the board is that they're finishing the Netflix Minecraft game, by the way.
No, come on.
Yay, guys, we're going to get that, but we're not going to finish the Walking Dead series.
You say Netflix Minecraft?
Yeah, the 25 people are staying on to finish the Netflix Minecraft Telltale game. It's the story game, so it's going to be
apparently,
just like all the other Telltales.
I heard that the Stranger Things game is going to actually be completed by Netflix.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, they said that they're going to do something with it. I don't know. It's not exactly sure what, right?
I mean, Netflix is...
They haven't...
Ian's going to say the same thing that I'm going to say, which is that Netflix is used to usually sticking by their guns. Like, they like to please people. When someone asks for, hey, you know what's really cool? Full Metal Alchemist. I want a real people version of that. Netflix is like, sure. And even if it's crappy,
there it is. It's kind of garbage.
There it is. You got it. You wanted it. That's how crappy it's going to be.
I think it's interesting to think about Netflix using this as an opportunity to dip its toe into yet another pool and say, like, maybe we're a game developer now. And I could totally see that happening.
They've been kind of dipping into it with, like, the whole Castlevania thing. Oh, they potentially might be doing a Diablo animated series. Which would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Have you guys seen the movie Demolition Man? This is an important question. You know how Taco Bell is like the pervading, like they own every other restaurant chain. So they're like, oh, we're going to Taco Bell. And Sylvester Stallone's like, hey, why are we going to Taco Bell? That's not like a real place that we should go. And it's like a fancy restaurant. That is my Sylvester Stallone impression. There you go, everybody.
I like that.
Thank you.
This came up with something I saw on Reddit recently. I don't know why.
Okay, so my final question about this is Telltale Games Studio is a studio that has a place in a lot of gamers' hearts. And I personally think it's possible that the studio will continue to exist in one way or another. So I wanted to just ask the question and say, after they finish whatever it is they're doing, do you think they're done? Or do you think they'll try and stage a comeback?
Do you know if they went bankrupt? Sorry. Do you know if they? Sorry, do you know if they
They
filed
haven't gone
bankruptcy?
bankrupt yet.
No, they haven't yet. This is why I think that if the right group of people from Telltale Games reforms into something that could be good, then
Telltale
yes.
Games.
Telltale Games. No, but like if they form the thing that they're supposed to be, then I think that would work. But not as the same thing. They can't be just more Telltale games.
I see a couple things here. I think that the people from Telltale are already going to be picked up by other companies because they were calling them in. And I think they've all been mistreated in a lot of ways. No matter how they were, it's clear that it happened. And they're going to go to companies who are going to treat them better. But if it's going to exist in any way, it'll be with Netflix. Netflix, if they grab a team that was working on their Stranger Things project in whatever capacity already, and they pull them and ask them to make this game, I think Netflix will run with it. And if that team that they pull is competent, it'll change and be a different kind of Telltale. And if not, then it'll be the same static formula and it'll just produce the same nonsense for Netflix and not grow.
I can definitely see that. I could also totally see them being bought by EA. 100%.
I mean, EA
EA
just
is
buys
like-
everything.
Well,
so-
because EA is like, oh, you abuse your employees too. Come on in. Come on.
You do that?
Sorry.
We do that too.
Dude, don't say
You
that.
guys are gonna
Don't
fit
say
right
that on the
in.
internet. They might hear you.
What are they gonna do?
I don't
What are
know,
they
but it's
do
gonna be
that they already
bad.
haven't done to us?
Guys,
They're gonna add DLC to our
They
fucking
ruined
podcast.
They ruined Mass Effect.
There goes
They
our
ruined
EA endorsement,
Battlefront.
guys. We blew it.
Oh damn!
If Chris ends up dead, we know it was an EA hitman.
Bethesda and
No,
CD
that's-
Projekt are gonna
I was
defend me.
I was gonna say I don't think EA does the Hitman games.
Nice.
Aw. I don't think anybody does the
Dan,
Hitman
you're such a
games
square.
anymore.
I love the Hitman games, so you can shut up. Okay?
I love them, but do they happen
Oh,
anymore?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
totally.
They do
totally come out.
Hitman.
They're
It's
doing-
out now. They give there's constant updates to it. Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god, yeah. This is like
I
a
missed
modern. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that's it for us too here at the GameBrew Podcast. See you later, everyone, and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Guys, you know what I did? I did this past week
What?
that I had never done before. I've never made my own PowerPoint. This week I had to make my own first PowerPoint in 29 years.
How have you never made a PowerPoint
I
presentation?
don't know.
How many group projects did you do in high school where you were
I
like,
did them, and
yeah,
I was just like, I'll do like the math, or like I'll type whatever you want to say, but like,
but I'm not doing the
I'll
PowerPoint.
God forbid
so at
you
work,
make me do
I had
this.
to do a PowerPoint, and it was the first one I've ever done.
I'm just imagining Chris sitting at his computer, just being like, "How do I?
No,
what?
no.
What do I even do?"
Well, look, I was
How do you
basically
get these
asked to do
cool
this. and-
animations in there?
No, I didn't even do any of that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they just asked me to do it. I was like, okay, I'll get it done.
All right. Hey, what's this thing in? It's called word art. It looks like it's like the letters are coming right at me.
Oh
Clippy
my
pops
god.
up. Hey, it looks like you've never done a PowerPoint presentation before.
Hey, Clippy,
Can I
you're
help with
right.
that?
You probably can.
Fucking Clippy, holy shit.
What if Clippy was around now? You could give him skins.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
true. You could buy cosmetic skins for Clippy.